I've had it with this fucking rain.
What rain, my dear Oakmont?
Shut your gob.
I'll shut it as soon as I get some food in it. Speaking of, what sort of a cook is she? Your wife?
I don't remember.
Oh, it can't be too good then.
The two continue walking in silence for a moment.
How old are your boys?
11 or 12?
The names?
What's with the damn interrogation?
What's with the attitude?
Blame whatever god's pissing on us right now.
That bastard.
Please, someone, help!
Did you hear that?
Could be a trap.
Somebody, anybody!
The two grip their swords' hilts.
Ah! Wait, your crests, your howling soldiers. Please, I need your help.
Thane Howland is dead.
Please, they're after me.
Who's after you?
The mortars, please help me. They'll kill me. They'll kill you too if they find you. Please.
In the distance, a party of mercenaries appear, wearing the crimson cloaks of House Martyrs.
What do you think?
I think it sounds like we don't have a choice.
There you are, Donovan. We've been looking for you.
Donovan? As in Lord Howland's ward?
The one and only. Now why don't you hand him over to us, girlie?
Why don't you come and take him?
Damn it, Lyra!
Exclamation, everybody, and welcome to Lyra, the Traitor Lyngrave. It's an early prototype, so there's going to be a lot of... There's no balance or things like that in the game. And it's just a little prologue, a little teaser of a, as you can see, tactical turn-based combat game. This game is a little bit more structured towards the... I'd say this is more a visual novel than an actual turn-based tactical game, even though there are interludes of combat as it stands right now. So I hope you guys are in for the long-winded story, and I'll complain about that a little bit later. Before we, well, let's get into the combat right now, and we'll talk about some more. So, this game is doing much of what other games in this genre have been doing recently, where your characters, the maps are so small that your characters can pretty much move around every square without taking too much of a stamina hit. Unfortunately, that also means the enemies do, which means that a whole lot of the quote-unquote tactics that you would use are just don't come into play, because the enemy will... You can't retreat, really. The enemy will just follow your character that's down low in health and all to the ends of the earth, and in the next turn, and it's not even worth trying to run away at times, but I will, just for the sake of argument. Let's, speaking of, let's make these guys come after me a little bit. So, as you probably gathered, just like Banner Saga and other games of the genre, your health is in red. The blue is the armor in this case. Unlike most of those games, though, the actions down below only work on one color or the other. So the red ones are only work against your health, the health of the enemy, or vitality as it's called here. And the blue will only work against their armor. So you'll see in a bit how that is not the greatest thing in the world, because we have characters here who have like 3 blue things and 1 red thing, and all of them have cooldowns, which makes them a very useless character as the battle continues. But in any event, let's go and get a volley off on these guys. And the game, I find, isn't always responsive to a click, depending on where it's at on the screen. So you may hear me click a few times here just to get things to work. So end turn there. Alright, this guy, Donovan, is our main melee guy. So I can have him come up here and basically just kind of target this guy. Just kind of, you know, make them sort of single one of their guys out. Because what's going to happen is, and this is another thing that a lot of games in this genre are doing now, the AI wants to focus on one character at a time. They'll like send 3 or 4 people after one of your guys, which, you know, if you were playing against a human character, that would make some kind of sense, because humans tend to do the same thing, you know, gang up on others. But for the AI, it's kind of makes the game feel cheaty, because they get far more turns than you do, and it makes it so that you can't really, it feels like you can't get very far. Like it feels, not that you can't get very far, it feels like you're unfair, the advantage that they have is unfair compared to you. But anyway, we'll end the turn here. See, I used Oakmont there, who is big old tank with a bunch of health, but he has almost no offensive stuff. He has just the I'm going to destroy your armor abilities. So that makes him, as you can see, as now that their armor is down to nothing, he's pretty well useless at this point. Because armor doesn't regenerate, health doesn't regenerate, so it just, at this point he's really, I'm basically, well, in this case it's even match now, it's 2 on 2, but in most cases you'll be now at a disadvantage. So not sure that I'm in love with how they've done that. But let's come over here and we'll keep this guy in our sights here. We'll do a little slashy poo and a stabby poo. And you can see over on the left hand side there, it tells you how much stamina it takes, what kind of damage it does, and how many turns of cooldown it does, and if it does any AoE damage, that kind of thing. So you can keep all that squared away. Now this guy, what I found that the AI does is it will run away like when they get low on health like this, but then the next turn they'll immediately come back again. So it's just weird, right? Because like I said, I can track this guy down anywhere on the map and do a whole bunch of damage to him, which is what I'm about to do. Not enough to kill him, but it'll be enough to... Actually, let's do a smash first. Well, no, he doesn't have... He has 0. If I do a smash right now, it'll literally do 0 points of damage. It'll just take health. It'll just take stamina off me, and nothing else. In Banner Saga, if I'm not mistaken, even if you did one of these kind of things, that one of your specials, it would still take health damage. It would take health damage if they had no armor left, right? In this game, it doesn't work that way, which is, like I said, very strange. Now, what's interesting here is you don't have to move your first turn. You can actually do what the AI did there and strike. You can use all your strikes that you want. As long as you have a little bit of stamina left, you can move pretty much anywhere on the map. So, we're going to come over here, and we're going to do stab, and that's literally all we could do with him. And he's going to run away some more, which again is useless to try to run away. Alright, so I could do actually I can do a volley here and actually probably hit both of them. No. See, it very heavily restricts where I could do volleys. Like, I can't do them like right next to the character, which is weird because you think you would be able to fire point blank range, but I guess that's just a limitation that they've put on there that they don't actually tell you about. So we'll stab this guy. My slash is still on cooldown, so what I'll do is I'll have her come over here, which actually should give me a range to do a volley now, possibly. Yeah, and I should hit both of those guys and destroy both of them. So there we go. Alright, not too shabby. I should mention though that this is about the 4th time that I've played this, so this is not my first blind playthrough of this. Mostly because I've been having problems actually recording my audio and stuff. So hopefully the 4th time will be the charm here.
Thank you. I owe you both my life.
Why were they after you?
You're Donovan, Thane Howland's ward, son of Thane Valenfax. Is that why the mortars hunt you?
Lyra, we've got no time for questions. There will be more of them after him.
They seek not me, but the information I hold. And your friend, Bjorn Oakmont, is it? He's right. We need to get someplace safe.
You misunderstand me, boy. Whatever it is you're involved with, it's none of our doing. We've helped you this time, but we won't be entangling ourselves further.
Wait! Please, I still need your help.
Not only is my life at risk, so too is that of my contact in the Bannered Arches. Your contact?
Delivered by the ward of Howlin to a secret contact and hunted by the mortars no less. What information is that valuable?
Say you will help me, and I shall tell you everything.
Help you? We've already saved your life. Is that not enough?
My thanks, but no. The information I carry is far too valuable. I cannot reveal it, not without your word that you will serve me further.
We do not respond to blackmail, my friend. Lyra, let us leave. Dromsan is still 2 days' hike.
The two begin to walk away, leaving Donovan behind. Donovan bubbles with tension, trying to find the right words to keep them there.
Vagenstein!
Lyra stops in her tracks, looking down at the ground. Bjorn, after a few steps, notices she has halted and turns to face her.
Lyra, come on. We've got our own battles to fight.
Vagenstein.
Do you know what word you speak here?
I know enough. Please, will you help me?
Lyra, it's just a word. Ignore him.
Just a word. It is my honor. The honor of my people.
I invoke the right of Vagenstein. You are bound to me, Lyra, like your ancestors were bound to the monks of Canamore and House Blackwind before them.
I know my people's history.
Then will you help me?
Lyra.
Ugh. I'm sorry. But I can't turn my back on this. We will continue our journey to Dromsan. But first, I must service this hair.
You know, I see you as a daughter. So, I will accompany you on this. But once this is over, I must find my wife and sons.
And in that, I will stand by your side once more.
I'm sorry I forced your hand, truly. I need your help.
Our Lord hasn't enacted Vardenstein in over 200 years. You must have good reason to do so.
I do. I was at Dan Bareth on the night of the slaughter, staying in the guest tower. Shortly after midnight, a chill in the air woke me. I looked out my window and saw Thane Lyngrave moving through the shadows of the courtyard below.
Lyngrave?
I decided to follow him, so I made my way as quickly as I could downstairs and into the night. I saw him, that fucking traitor. He let the mortar's armies in, cut the throats of those who stood guard at the Barbican and raised the gate with the help of his men.
Shit.
I tried to stop him, but once those gates were open, it was all over. The Thane rode out, headed towards Boulder, his elite by his side. I barely escaped with my life.
So, this contact of yours,
A representative of House Blackwin. Sebastian met with him monthly, but his murder... It all happened so fast. We've not had time to report his death to House Blackwin.
and you hope to bring the news of Lyngrave's betrayal before they leave for Dawn's Point.
I do.
The Mortars know of this contact how?
Lyngrave sent men after me once he realised I'd escaped, some of which you saved me from. The others, well, let's just say they had me tied to a tree barely 12 hours ago.
They tortured you.
I'd rather not talk about it.
But why would Lyngrave want to kill your contact? Surely, a missing Blackwin would only cause more trouble for him and his handlers.
I don't know. I doubt Lyngrave or Thane Mortars even know. The mercenaries they hired, it struck me that they might be in this purely for the sport. If we can reach the inn, then all of this can be over. The Mortars, the bandits, House Blackwin will clean it all up.
You haven't been in many wars, have you, Lord Donovan?
The three continue onwards quietly. Shortly after, they see a ragged banner fluttering over the horizon.
You three look like you're headed into town.
Aye, we are.
Listen, take my advice. Go about your business if you must, but I wouldn't stay long if I were you.
Why not?
Mercenaries. They arrived this morning, set up a stronghold in the inn. They haven't killed anyone just yet, but I've been around those kinds of men before. They're itching. It's only a matter of time before someone's skin gets scratched. Well, where are you going? Me? To Boulder. I've got cousins there. I can sell my wares in their markets this season. I'm not risking my life a second longer.
Well, thank you, friend. We will be sure to move on as soon as our business is conducted.
The traveler looks at Oakmont for a moment, trying to read him. Finally, he nods in agreement and walks off.
If the Mortars already have the inn, it'll do us no good to charge the place. Let's split up and collect some intel on our situation first. Talk to the locals. Perhaps we can find a less conspicuous way inside.
And here we're at our first sort of hub-ish area. Not really, but it's the closest thing I can come to it. It's you have a choice between who you want to go to first, but ultimately you have to click on all three of these before you can go anywhere. Before I do that, there won't be any opportunity to see it at all during the game as it is. But if I go up here, you can take a look at the map. Just get an idea of what some of the places are they're talking about. So Dan Bareth up here is the one that was sacked 2 weeks prior or whatever. And then you can see Boulder, Denmore, Gainesbolt, Vixen Fort. I'm not quite sure where we're at yet. There's still a bunch of placeholder stuff in there they haven't put into the game yet. I'm not quite sure where exactly we are on this map, but I would imagine it's kind of right in this area somewhere, maybe. Yeah, I just wanted to give you just an idea of what the world map kind of looks like here. I imagine they'll be going to most of these hubs at some point. So there we go. All right, we'll start off with our bear friend. This scene contains no voice acting. Well, I'll try my best. You look as if you've got your hands full. Oh, well, when you've as many cubs as I have two of my own. Rascals, the both of them. Ah, then you know. I do. Please, let me help you. Oakmont carries her basket of food. You're too kind, sir. Oakmont. Bjorn Oakmont. Bjorn. What brings you to town, Bjorn? I have not seen your face before. A friend's in town at the inn. I have a friend in town. Was supposed to meet them at the old inn, but it's been closed off. By the gods! The friend you were to meet there, not at the inn still, are they? I can only conclude that they are, and that they are in danger. The men that took that place, they are murderers, Bjorn. I'm sorry, but your friend is lost. You mustn't go there, lest you lose your life as well. I know, and they are responsible for a great many deaths, but I would be a lesser man if I did not serve them justice. You speak as if you know them personally. Not personally. I am a soldier, and a good soldier should always know the crimes of his enemies. I wish I could help, but I'm a nobody, and the place is barricaded from within. You could not enter without them first desiring it so. None at all? No back entrance or hidden passage? None that I'm aware of, though I am perhaps not the most knowledgeable on this topic. Who would know? I cannot say. I'm sorry. Listen, thank you for your help, Bjorn, but I must attend to my cubs. I wish you all the best in your journey. Thank you. May the gods grant you a good rest, and grant it soon. With these children, I doubt even the gods could accomplish such a feat. With a chuckle, the lady gathers her cubs and carries on her way. Alright, let's go with our wolf friend here.
Excuse me, sir. Can I have a moment?
Oh, I don't want any trouble, miss.
I was just hoping to ask you a couple of questions about the local inn.
And about them Malta's mercenaries that have taken over, no doubt.
You strike me as the kind of man who doesn't miss much.
My wife's dead. Killed in a raid. Oh, it was years ago now, but I've got my boy and I need to protect. So I gotta keep my eye on things. Keep him out of danger. But you know, well, I reckon you're the kind of lass that brings danger wherever she treads.
I'm trying to save lives. Help me.
Please, I'm trying to save lives. Help me and I'll be out of your way.
I believe you, and I understand what you're trying to do, but I can't help, I'm sorry. I just can't. I've got my boy to look out for.
Please. The men that have barred up your inn, they're the true danger. If they aren't removed...
You seem like an intelligent lass. Straight to the point. I won't waste your time. I can't help you. I won't risk it. I can't lose my son like I lost my bride.
If I had a father like you, then perhaps danger wouldn't follow my shadow. But please, help me. I'm trying to put a stop to it.
It's a sad state of affairs these days where young pups like yourself went without a good wolf to show them the way. Sure, I will help you best I can, but only as long as I feel my son is safe.
The men that have barricaded themselves inside the Bannered Archers, they threaten the peace of the realm. I need to get in there.
You're hoping I know of a back entrance of sorts?
Is there? A back entrance?
On the outskirts of town, there's an old well. There's no water in it now. It's mostly a ruin. There's a tunnel down there. Leads under the inn. We used to use it to sneak in as young pups. That's your best bet, if it's still open.
The outskirts of town? Thank you. You may have just saved us from a great defeat. May the gods shine on you.
Do what you must, and then leave this place as soon as possible. Thank you for your services, miss.
Alright, now our hare friend.
Excuse me, ma'am. Could I perhaps have a word?
Oh, darling, please. Call me Victoria. There's no need for formalities, especially not now.
My apologies, Victoria. I'm Donovan, and I was wondering if...
Oh, Donovan. What a handsome name for such a handsome fellow.
Thank you, my lady. Now, if you'll please...
Come, come. You must have a drink with me, Donovan. A glass of red, perhaps? Or, dare I say, white?
It's too early.
I'm sorry, but it's too early for me.
Too early? You take me for a drunk, Donovan. But can one be blamed, considering one's present circumstance?
Which are?
The inn being ransacked, of course. All I've got left is my own private wine cellar. Not that I'm what one would call a bar hag. I mean, yes, I admit to have frequented the place now and then. But can you really blame me? I was wooed here from Dawn's Point by my husband, told that I would be the lady of his estate. If only I'd known that would mean living on my own as a trophy while he gallivants across the countryside on business, bedding every goddamn farm girl that turns his head. I deserve a drink and a handsome lad every now and then, don't I? Don't I?
I wanted to know about the soldiers who rolled into town and took it over.
Oh, those bastards. Why didn't you say so, dear? Of course. What did you want to know?
Those mercenaries, they've boarded the place up.
Indeed they have. Right nasty lot, that bunch. Kicked the lot of us out as soon as they arrived. Kept the barmaid, though. Poor thing. Poor, pretty little thing.
What about a bear? She would have been wearing the crest of the Blackwinds on her lapel.
Oh, how enthralling. Are you about to involve me in a bit of political espionage, my dear? No? Too bad. I could use some excitement around here. It's not like my useless husband gives me any.
Well, did you see her?
I did see someone matching that description, yes. She was seated right by the door when those rascals burst in. Smacked her hard across the face with a nearby flagon. I didn't see what happened to her after that.
I think we're done here.
I must go now.
You're leaving? Already? But Donovan, my dear, we were only just starting to get to know each other. Please, stay. Have one more wine with an old lady.
I'm sorry, but I can't. Thank you for your help, Victoria. Truly.
Alright, so this is where I'm going to take a moment to kind of complain a little bit. If you're fans of visual novels, I'd say this game is you're probably loving what you're seeing right now. If you're a fan of, tactical turn-based combat, you're probably bored to tears at this moment. And I would say if the devs want to attract both of those people, you're going to have to go through and really tighten up some of this stuff. Your story is very heavily front-loaded, and also there's a lot of extraneous details that someone who loves visual novels will eat up. But someone who's really just looking to get into the action is going to be just gnawing their eyes out. Just very, very bored. The first time I loaded this up, before I even recorded anything, I played through the whole prologue here, and I got maybe 5% of the story, because for the most part I was just looking at my other monitor. I was just doing anything but paying attention, because honestly it was a snooze fest. There is a lot of lore building, there's a lot of world building here, but I feel like it needs to kind of, not be stretched out quite as thin as it is, stretch out quite as much as it is. I don't think we need quite as much front loaded as we do, but that's just my opinion there. Let's go into the well. Oakmont throws a rope down the mouth of the well. It swallows a surprising length of it before a faint sound can be heard below. The three lower themselves down the ominous chute, brushing the thick clumps of moss that line the wet stone walls. Finally touching ground, they find themselves in a secret tunnel that leads beneath the inn. Oakmont lifts a torch mounted to the wall. Fumbling in a pouch tied to his belt, he takes out a small flint and strikes it. As they feel their way through the dark back towards the inn, they talk in whispered tones.
What do you think they use these tunnels for?
Before your time, probably. Drought of 1399. Crown banned the sale of liquor. What little wheat and grain we had growing got swallowed up by the granaries. You know how it is, though. Separate a man from his drink and he'll just find another way. These are bootlegging tunnels.
They press on, using the dim, flickering light of the torch to guide their way.
We must be getting close. I can hear sounds above us.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say they're having a party.
We're probably directly below the fruit cellar. Listen, when we get in there, there's no telling what might happen. Both of you, make sure you have your weapons handy. We may have to fight our way in.
Donovan lifts a trapdoor in the floor of the earthen fruit cellar and peers into the gloom.
Let's go.
The three enter the main part of the inn from a side door and aren't immediately spotted by the Malter's mercenaries. All the mercenaries are drinking from flagons of beer, laughing and celebrating. A young barmaid, frightened and carrying more beer for the Malters, is being jeered at as she approaches them.
Come on, darling. We're just about dry over here.
Maybe she likes it dry, Captain. Come here, lovely. I'll show you a thing or two.
Donovan slowly raises his eyes toward the ceiling. Strung up from the rafters by two rough cords of rope hangs the limp corpse of a limp female bear, Donovan's contact. Blood drips from her mouth, her stomach has been cut open and her entrails dangle from the wound, dripping onto the giant table below, where the Malters are gathered. Donovan loses it. He quickly becomes erratic in his rage.
That's butchery! Those barbarians!
Your contact.
Fucking bastards!
Keep calm. We need to take this slow.
Ah! You fucking bastards!
Alright, so we're into battle number 2. This is the last battle of the prologue, so let's make sure we do a good outing here, right? I'm going to have my character come down here right next to the table so I can only get 3 enemies around me, rather than 4. Because like I said, they like the AI likes to use all their characters against one of your characters. And they get a lot of turns in which to do it. So, a lot more stamina in which to do it. So, gotta keep that in mind. The other thing to keep in mind is that these guys with the pole arms are the most dangerous ones in the room. And I say that because they, like Donovan, can do 2 red actions and 1 blue action. And like Oakmont over here, these other big dudes can only do 3 blue things and 1 red thing. Which means as the battle wears on, if you get rid of these polearm guys, and this is kind of where some tactics comes into play, but not, I mean, it's about base level tactics as you can get. If you get rid of these polearm guys, then these other guys can't really do any damage to you because your armor will probably be 0 anyway. So, you know, they can only really get 1 hit each on you. So that becomes very, very important. So let's get over here. Let's do a smash, a slash, and a stab against this guy. Alright. Again, you can see this guy's doing mostly damage to my armor, nothing else. So I can pretty much ignore him for a little while because we got a lot of health here. There's that. Alright, now I'll bring my guy over here so no one else can... Well, I'll bring him over here. And we'll start to take on this other polearm guy. Let's do a pound. And that was... Okay, that took out all his armor. Alright. Do a slash then. Or stab, I mean. There we go. Okay. So what we're going to have to do here is let's do a stab against this guy because we only need to do 3 damage to kill him. Let's do a slash against this guy. And then we're going to walk all the way over here to where I can possibly get some shots in with my bow or my crossbow. But honestly, I've only got 2 health left, which means the next person who moves is probably going to come down here and take her out. So it doesn't really matter. This is, again, where I feel like the tactics fail, because it doesn't really matter where I put her on the map. They're just going to track her down anyway. So there is no health regen or anything, which I think is a big mistake, honestly. I feel like not being able to sort of regen your health a little bit means that you're at a complete disadvantage when it comes to this kind of thing. Alright, so Donovan, you don't really need to care about these guys because, again, they can't do a whole lot of damage. This guy down here can still do a ton. So we're going to come down here. And we're going to largely ignore these guys for now because, like I said, the worst they can do is hit my armor, and my armor is pretty much going to be gone from all my characters. Like, I have 2 characters with no armor right now and 1 with only 5, so big deal that they can do a lot of damage to my armor. And let's do a stab on him. Alright. He's going to come down and finish off my character here. There we go. And then I'm going to come down here. And I'm going to do a ground pound, which should hit both of these guys. And then a stabby poo. There we go. That hit them, but it didn't do a damn thing. Let's do a smash on this guy. There we go. And stab. Excellent. Again, this guy can only do that. 6 points of damage was all he could literally do. Alright, and then he's going to run away. Which doesn't do anyone any different. Doesn't really do any difference there. So we're just going to come on over and tap him on the shoulder with a good old slash for 6. And a stab for the remainder. There we go. End our turn. And basically at this point we can just stand here and keep taking damage because, I mean, there's not much else that Donovan can do at this point. Or, I mean, not Donovan, Oakmont can do at this point except just stand here and tank. Pretty much. And then what actually I'll do is I'll have them walk over here and stand next to my guy. And then these guys will have to come after us. So, you know. Okay. Let's let's see, I guess right here, smash this guy and do a stab because I can't do much damage this turn anyway. I've still got my other thing on cooldown, So, end our turn. And like I said, this is where it gets like... Even the combat gets really boring because there's literally nothing you can really do here. Your options are so heavily limited that it's almost comical, you know? So, do that, and then... Do that, and I'll just make a lap around the table. Why not? Why not? I mean, I got all this extra stamina here that I can't do a thing with. And let me just stress again, this is just a proof of concept, so nothing's been balanced yet or anything like that. So I am complaining about something that I really probably shouldn't complain about, but I still do need to give some sort of feedback. Alright, Donovan, you're going to do a smash on this guy. Nothing. Do a slash and a stab. Get rid of him. And I'm going to have you walk all the way over here just for the sake of argument. Only got 9 health left. I want to see if this guy will actually chase you down or not. Because I'm going to come over here and kind of stand in his way a little bit. I'm going to pound on him. She's expertly parries. Like, you can't do any freaking damage to these guys because they just keep parrying everything. So let's just do a little bit of that. Yeah, we did one bit of health there. That was it. Okay, good. I've got the AI's attention. So we'll, well, I won't, it's not going to help go over there right now because my heavy damage thing only does, is still on cooldown. So I'm just going to have him stand there. And then I'm going to have my guy do a ground pound, which is parried, a smash, which didn't parry, and a stab. There we go. Alright, so you can see where the math is taking us now. And now he's running. But now Donovan should be able to do enough damage to him. So we're going to come on over here. And we'll do a slash and a stab. There he is. I feel like they really missed out on the opportunity to, like, if you don't do anything in a turn, like I did with Donovan there, to have them actually heal or something, but or at least have a heal or recuperate button that you could just push, but yeah, whatever. Mercenary captain lies on the floor. As he bleeds to death, choking on his own blood, Donovan approaches him.
I'm going to take your head for what you've done. What is it? What do you have to laugh about?
You're too late.
What does he mean, too late? What's he talking about?
You've killed us. So what? It doesn't matter. We'll still win this war.
People like you that slaughtered murdered Sebastian!
Oh, poor you. This isn't a world for cowards and pillow biters. It's for the violent. And the violent take it by force.
What is it that you know that we don't?
Fuck you. I'm already dead. You think I'm going to tell you anything? You already know of Lyngrave's betrayal. I'm not giving you more.
Torture him.
Tell us what you know!
Donovan presses on the wound harder.
make yourself here.
String him up.
Maybe you don't fear pain or death. And maybe you won't tell us anymore, but you should pay for what you did to Donovan's friend. Oakmont, grab some rope. Let's string him from the rafters and spill his guts.
Is it not enough to have murdered me and my men? You'd humiliate me as well?
Oakmont grabs a coil of rope and begins to tie it to one of the captain's wrists.
You're bluffing. You're not savages.
After tying up both his wrists,
Donovan, do the honors.
Wait. I'll talk, just don't.
What are the Mortar's plans? Why are we too late?
An assassin! They hired an assassin on the way to the capital, to Dawn's Point. It's too late. Soon the king will be dead. War has come. Whether you like it or not. Now let me die in peace, you bitch.
That's for Sebastian.
Oakmont and Lyra let go of the rope and he collapses to the ground. Donovan brushes tears from his face and wipes his blade on his gambeson. The front doors of the bannered arches burst open as Lyra, Oakmont, and Donovan step out into the late afternoon rain. The three look somber.
Thane Lyngrave escaped. He deserves to be punished.
His treachery runs deep. I still wish to see my wife and sons. But this...
Must be taken care of. Our friends, the soldiers who perished at Danbereth, they deserve justice.
He was headed to Boulder, you say?
I believe so, but what of the mercenaries' words? An assassin with a contract on the king? Surely saving the crown is a more pressing issue.
Not for us, it isn't. Lyra and I aren't the kind to keep the company of kings. We do more to inhibit you than help you.
You're suggesting I go on my own to Dawn's Point?
You're the ward of Thane Howlin, and a lord of Valenfax. They'll listen to you, Donovan. Us, they won't even let us through the front doors.
Yes, you're right. Then it's settled. We part ways. I shall ride south to Dawn's Point, try and warn King Blackwind before the Mortar's plans can succeed.
And we will seek vengeance in Boulder against that coward, that traitor, Lyngrave.
Astrid. Ivor, Leaf. I will see you. But not yet.
Donovan turns to leave.
Donovan, keep safe.
And you. Lyra,
Yes?
thank you. For everything. You too, Oakmont.
Oakmont gives a reciprocating nod.
I'm proud to call you my friends.
Donovan hurries off down the path, beckoning a nearby stableman. Lyra and Oakmont turn and start walking out of town, weapons slung over their backs.
Boulder's not far.
Aye. If we hurry, we can make it by morning.
Give that son of a bitch what he deserves.
House Valenfax won't appreciate a violent approach, you know this.
Bayonne, if they've a problem with it, then those damn rabbits can kiss my sodding arse.
With a chuckle, the two disappear into the tree line. And that, my friends, is the end of the prologue here. Like I said, this is a free download. You can, it's a prototype for a game. As far as I know, there's no crowdfunding or anything yet on it. That's just they're kind of feeling the waters with it. It's very story heavy, not as much on the tactical turn-based stuff as maybe a veteran of that genre might like. But if you're a veteran of visual novels, you'll probably enjoy the heck out of this. I actually like the anthropomorphic animals and the kind of setting that they're building. Although I do think that they're really long in the tooth as far as the world and setting building is going. But I will. This is by the way, this is Lyra, the Traitor Lyngrave. It is by Montebiro. I will leave links, as always, down in the description so you can go do your own due diligence on the game and also download it yourself if you want to and play the latest build. It's out there free for you to do those things, and you can judge for yourself what's going on here. But that's it for me. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and I will see you next time.